Scorch going to start us off with the bans. Let's see what they lean towards.
What are you thinking here? What are you expecting to see from the Scorch, Kalka?
Well, they've already got rid of Pantheon, which is something Griff is known to play. He is, yep. I know he likes Briar, but definitely needs to be careful about where he slots it in. Briar, a bit of a unique champ in a competitive environment. And also got to be on the lookout for ADCs played in the mid lane from Crispy. There's the Kaisa.
Shin ban, maybe Kennen.
Targeting Choffles, yeah.
Everything's fixed. Goodness.
All right. You're doing wonders, Jace. Thank you for your time and labor.
Normally I can go do administrative stuff while Jags vamps, or he can do administrative stuff while I'm running the broadcast, but unfortunately this time I'm having to do both because you and Matt don't have admin permissions to be able to jump around and do things like I can. But it's alright. Here we are, first round of bounds coming through. You guys talk us through it. We've got Tristana banned again, and I've heard just really from watching Pobelter's videos that it seems like Tristana mid is the fresh hotness. I'm not sure how effective it is in the bot lane.
Oh, yeah.
I think this is interesting.
Yeah, we didn't mention patch changes at the beginning of the broadcast, but something that happened recently was magic resist buffs to ADCs. And a couple years ago, you may remember in pro play that a few ADCs were rampant in mid lane because they were able to neutralize it so well, and then you just have rescaling double ADCs. And there's Vigar, so I'll let Jace talk about that a little bit when the right time comes.
I will say Vigar, an absolutely batshit crazy thing to first pick. I'm excited to see the champion, but not a first pickable blind pick, really. So we'll see how that goes for them.
Yeah,
I think you also have to keep in mind though that Vigar is like a really tough first pick, but when I'm pretty sure that's going to be Jade's pick, and when you have a champion pool that's really limited, it's sometimes worth it to just pick something up right away.
Yeah, but not when it's Vigar. We know that Blade has more to select than that, but here we have an immediate answer with this going to be Crispy counter picking with the Zed. Crispy known to be I would say the most successful counter picking drafter in the entirety of the LCC's history. And
I heard you die inside a little bit when you saw that Zed look in.
It hurts. It's not an unplayable matchup for Vigar. The issue becomes Vigar is not able to assist the team in any way until like 2 items.
Yeah.
So as the center of your map, it can make life difficult.
Yeah, I don't touch Vagar, but I do enjoy Zed, and I will be honest, if I get to play Zed into Vagar, I am going to enjoy myself greatly. So.
Like, just give me back the instant stun cage like we have in Classic. That's the good stuff. That's what we need, because I can instant stun a Zed after he ults me every time. It's so free. But
now I like this Poppy pick because it synergizes with the Vigar pretty well. You can charge people into the Vigar cage if they're just trying to dance around his side. However, currently Poppy doesn't directly counter any of the Plague's picks because Zed's W is a blink, not a dash. And then Jinx doesn't have any dashes in her kit regardless. So I'm also assuming that's... Okay, now wait. Now here we have Poppy and Shen locked in, who are both interchangeable in top and jungle.
Well, I have to say those are 2 really good picks in terms of Zed existing, because he's not going to do very well into either of those champs, because if Zed jumps behind a Poppy, she can just take him into the wall, and Shin can also just taunt and drop his aura cage around him, and they can't even do anything. Nasus
and Shen just ults whoever Zed ults to keep them alive. So I definitely like the pick here. And they've traded the pick around already.
I mean, it's not exactly a secret. But Nasus banned out in game 1, but able to be picked up here, presumably for the top lane.
Yep, definitely one of TJ's preferred picks. And now because it's picked on R3, they would, in theory, be able to ban counters, but they are pretty confident that Shen is already going up there. And so now they'll instead get rid of bot lane picks.
Nasus into Shin, I'm not sure off the top of my head how it is, but I think like it's one of those where Shin might be able to outplay him early on and get a couple kills, but like Nasus is just going to kind of scale. So I think it's a good pick for TJ. He's not trying to execute something insane mechanically. He's just picking a champion that'll scale. He can press W on the enemy ADC 30 minutes in and they won't be able to move, you know?
Yep. So already a decent amount of scaling on the Plague side. However, I do think Nasus definitely more of a mid-game spike type of champion. Same with the Zed. So we'll be Plague are looking to do a lot of the work around the map once they're on 2 or 3 items. But there are some more target bans towards Agateo. Let's see what else he's got in his pocket. Yeah, he's got 4 picks banned against him. If you assume that Tristana was targeted specifically at bot lane.
Which I would assume was key pick for him, so.
Yep, he does like to play that Tristana. I would say Corki in the same vein as Tristana. I don't like modern Corki all that much. It feels like a very high-risk pick to take into a competitive situation. And a lot of the times I see the most success within the LCC going for that scaling pick as a marksman, or otherwise picking up a mage to go towards the late game as well. Nasus coming through here will be the scaling pick to answer Veigar, I guess. Kind of just like, infinite scaling to trade off infinite scaling. But here we've got our R4 pickup. Will we see... This should be support, right? No, we're going to go for
they left the Briar up and he took it. Yeah, so Griff does get his Briar. He knows what he's into topside. A couple of pretty strong tanks, and Veigar is also... I'm trying to think, if Veigar cages himself after getting hit with a Briar ult, Briar stuns herself as she dashes in.
Briar is unstoppable during the travel.
Yes, unstoppable during the travel, but the stun persists
on the stun. She gets through. No, it will only stun if you stand on the stun as she connects. But you can pre-place the stun and then stand on the wall.
Alright, so the Scorch lock in their bot lane as Caitlyn Seraphine. A lot of team fighting AoE stuff on the side of Scorch.
Really like Seraphine as an answer to Briar. That's a very... But of course you do not want to be hit. But Demi will have a great answer to easily turn around onto the Briar. You throw that Encore over the incoming certain death, and then you're able to guarantee to get the extra distance off of yourself, the Briar, and then prevent any reinforcements coming in from the enemy team. So that one's very nice. In addition to, man, there is so much protect the Agateo happening on this blue side. But let's, guys, give me a rundown on the red side. How we looking there?
They're all AD.
Yep,
they're all AD.
They are.
And there is a Poppy and Shen on the opposite side. So they are just going to stack every armor item they can and become nigh unkillable. They are going to need Jinx on full 6 slots to be able to start winning team fights or being able to kill those tanks in front of them.
I believe the last time we've seen Jinx, we have seen triple kills in the first 10 minutes. So I'm curious to see if that keeps up.
I'm going to drop something on the other side because you're totally right in a traditional 5v5 equal rank setting. But if we also think about it a little bit, we got a very a diamond player on Zed into a counter pick against Jade, who is a good friend of mine, but at the same time, on Veigar into a diamond Zed might struggle a little bit. And so without that Veigar damage, I mean, what do they do if Nasus just presses W on Caitlyn and then Zed R, Briar R, kill Caitlyn and move on? And they're mid game comp anyways. So I just on that other side, it's like I feel like a big piece of this lies on Jade to not get too far behind and to deal enough damage to be relevant that they have to not ignore him, you know?
But the other side to keep in mind is that Plague just had to lane swap 3 positions. Crispy going to the mid lane, Izzy swapping in for marksman, and then Leroy moving over to support. So any practice that they've had is kind of out the window. And this is going to, I'd say, be up to Griff and TJ to really steer the ship with the Briar Nasus.
That's super fair.
Plague are going to have to hit level 6 and then do as much work around the map as they can before these core items start to come in for the tanks on Scorch, and before the Veigar can start really stacking his passive and just becoming an AP one-shot nightmare.
Yeah, one thing to watch out for is if we can see any combinations between Griff on the certain death out of Briar, moving in combination with Crispy on flanks, because Crispy has always been one to look for those flanks into the jungle to harass the enemy jungler on buffs as they take them, and then is going to be a menace in the late game playing around vision. So we've got a role swap here for Crispy into the mid lane, but as we all know, Crispy played mid lane last season. So no stranger to the position, even if it's been a little bit.
Yeah, I think very low prio top, to be honest. I think both of those champs are going to be, as relevant as they can be. I think, like, obviously Chaffles could get ahead. It's possible in the matchup, but it's hard to punish Nasus super hard after he hits level 6 if he doesn't get super far behind. Really, the rest of the map is where the interesting kind of difference makers will be. Like, how fed can this Caitlyn get? Because, Caitlyn at 6 items, headshot Zed, and he's dead.
Yeah, the other thing to note is that very dive heavy on Plague side. They've got Zed, Briar, Nasus just trying to sprint at the enemy backline. And as soon as that Caitlyn gets like 4 items plus GA with a Seraphine, Vigar Cage, Poppy wall stunning, Shen ulting, I don't think the Caitlyn's going to die, even with
Yeah.
all the dive that Plague have in their arsenal. It's really going to be win early and win fast for Plague if they don't want to take this W.
You gotta say respect to Agateo though, because I feel like every team he's ever been on, their game plan has become protect Agateo. So like, he's kind of got that goated reputation, and they're following through with it this time. It's 100% protect Agateo comp.
First strike on Caitlyn, aftershock on Poppy. Those are things that
in the chat. Shut up, Whisper. The gambling has already been completed. Looks like
yeah,
made it.
You tell him. Okay, this is interesting. This changes things up a bit. With first strike Caitlyn, that means he's trying to just get a huge lead in the bot lane and then spike a lot earlier, because the only tank on Plague side is Nasus. And so if the Shen is keeping the Nasus busy and Caitlyn gets ahead of the power curve, she's just going to one-shot everything on Plague's roster.
Welcome to Summoner's
Yeah,
Rift.
one thing to
But
watch
here
out
we
for,
are.
but let's we can always point out to where our junglers are going to start. We've got immediate runouts to grab some early vision. I love to see how this develops throughout the course of the season. And with the minions starting and minions spawning sooner in the game, it's always just a mad rush to get out that first vision. And we're going to see a early ward from Crispy onto the Raptors. And penultimately, and Griff will both be starting in the top side.
Yep, so junglers matching each other. Meanwhile, bot lane for Scorch is going to get priority. They have the ward in the bush, and so they get the extra pressure down. And Seraphine Qs are also going to start landing poke this early on. But here we go, early laning phase. Already Nass is getting chunked to half HP. Really, a lot of pressure in this bot lane. They're just going to be throwing skill shots back and forth, and already like are having to play on their back foot.
Griff was spotted,
as
but
they've
jumps
lost
over
trades.
the Baron wall here, and ultimately doesn't know. They thought that Griff was moving up towards the top side. Spotted now.
Yep, looking for the invade. Level 2 already chunked him down to half. Gets the trade back. Okay, Aftershock is procced after all the Briar damage has come out, but Briar is going to like that. Gets the smite secure. Troffles does have prio, and we'll get there first, but he's going to back away. So one camp stolen for Griff.
Ultimately needs to continue clearing. It's a nice pickup for Griff. Worried about the that Griff is going to still be in there in the jungle. Okay, we'll continue onto the wolves now. Okay, seeing Griff on the ward, they know that it's safe now to come back out. We'll continue after losing just one camp.
Yeah, Choffles has gotten a huge trade advantage in this top lane, and he's gotten his wave to crash. TJ's gonna have a hard time claiming this. Oh, lands the taunt, throws the ignite down, gets one auto, but he's slowed, and he's not gonna be able to catch up to him. That's first blood solo bolo for TJ.
Chapel's running it down. He's just put himself into the certified into tier list.
That's what matters most at the end of the day.
Trying to buff his place in the tier list. That's what it is.
Yeah.
I like the aggression, but not the look he was aiming for. giving over first blood early after burning his own ignite on the play. Still has flash up. But gonna want that one
By
back.
the way, I think Chaffles made a crazy call there. When he was underneath the turret, he decided not to flash because he thought Wither would slow his auto too much that he wouldn't be able to kill TJ anyways. I would not have had that self-control, even though it's probably the right decision. I don't know if he
one
meant
more
to do
auto
that,
wouldn't
but
have killed either way.
he had grasp, I think.
Yeah, but out here, going to be able to catch that creep wave. Not going to be the end of the world, but not the start that he was hoping for with that aggressive play. And both of our junglers clearing down into the bot side now. Blade dropped quite low.
The electrocute proc. Oh, Crispy wants that all in. I can see it in his
I can't
eyes.
believe he didn't take the shadow auto ignite for the kill there.
Yep. He had the ignites, and oh, okay. Shuffle's gonna land the taunt onto TJ as he's trying to go for the reset. Lots of damage done back, but TJ doesn't care.
He
going to
does.
reset anyway.
He is going to lose a cannon wave though because of stopping that back. If Chaffles wants him to.
There's not.
And TJ does have the
that's not gonna be able to
teleport.
set up a freeze.
But both junglers still in the power farming era. As Trey's in the bot lane, more poke landed. Oh man, yeah, already a 10 CS lead for this Caitlyn. Karma Jinx not quite able to match the range and poke damage of Caitlyn Seraphine.
Yep. All eyes need to be on Griff for the side of Zonflay. Set up well on his one trick to carry the game if he is so able to get the gold. But Briar, high-risk champion, just by nature.
Oh, I gotta get slow. Traps are gonna miss. Okay, so Plague aren't gonna quite secure the heavy trade win in that bot lane matchup. As yep, top lane is just farming at this point. Nasus is, let me check on his XP, halfway to level 6, and then he's basically unkillable for the rest of the laning phase. Because with Shen Poppy, that's not a lot of damage. It's a decent amount of lockdown, but they're just not going to be able to 100 to 0 Nasus in a single combo.
But and the other side as well, even though he died early, it's not easy for Nasus to kill Chaffles because he can block his auto attacks and then taunt on his way out, so he can outdo the slow by setting out auto attacks. Long story short, it's kind of just a dead lane that TJ gets some gold out of the start, but shouldn't be super brutal for either player.
Can Shed make Nasus Q miss a cannon?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I would love to see Chaffles pull that off. Because that would be super tilting.
King's down now.
Actually, I don't
from
know.
Zonflay onto penultimately, so she has been spotted out.
Big
As
damage
Griff
on
moves down
Leroy
the
in
strat.
bot lane.
Oh!
He has 1
Step-
HP.
Yep, he stepped on a trap, but is able to
Griff
just
is
barely make it
behind.
out with his life. If Griff on the
There's
flank,
no support, though.
all summoners are up for the Scorch bot lane, but he isn't able to 1v2. Izzy and Leroy are just pushed under their tower, so instead they'll just turn this into a dragon, I would assume. Poppy is in the area though, might look to contest.
I don't know that Zap's going to be able to start up a dragon
Oh,
right
yeah.
now.
They're worried about that Poppy and realize it's not safe, especially with their bot lane on such low HP.
Oh, Crispy going in. He has R and he's going to finish him. Nothing he can do there.
Oh, yep. Has to burn flash for it though, so he gets the 1 kill, but his kill threat is a little bit lower for the next 5 minutes.
Yep.
But he does get that kill in this matchup he wanted.
Not quite able to land the stun, but I think regardless would have fallen. It just would have given him a chance to kill Crispy, but he picks up the flash anyway. It's just the reality of that poke. Going Vygar into Crispy, or into Zed, you really want to try to take Bone Plating secondary. I can't check if he has that. I do see Summoner Spellbook, which is curious to me. So
I also have to make an apology real quick. I thought that it was Jade, not Blade, in mid lane for Shurima. That's why I was making a comment earlier. So Blade, I don't think you're bad at the game. I thought you were someone else.
Miso Jade is
Just
Blade.
want to make that clear.
Yep, they are indeed the same person, don't worry.
Miso changed names to Blade.
Oh, it is Blade.
It's edgier now.
So I just double roasted Miso. Sorry, bro.
Yep. Just
How's he making
put
it
it
so
all back
confusing?
in. The trash talk is relevant again.
Yeah, it's relevant. Jade, sorry to break it to you, bro.
Probably going to engage in top, dodging out the auto attacks as you mentioned, but going to go even in the trade, trying to crash this one in.
Yep, the Nasus has hit level 6, has Sheen, and is no longer threatened by this Shen matchup.
Yeah,
First Dragon still on the board. Agateo and Demi are walking Izzy and Leroy away from the creep wave. They have the level 6 advantage
Zed
and
on the
they're
roam
making
down.
most of it.
Never mind. Thought Zed might have gone for a look there. Okay,
First
Nasus
round.
burns ult for the chase down, forces flash out of Choffles, but will Nasus be able to catch up? Isn't going to quite have the move speed, and Wither was still on cooldown. So,
No ghost
one
either.
trade. Forces
120
flash.
stacks already on the Nasus.
Yeah, he's getting pretty fed. I might eat my own words here. He's playing real well. Down 12 CS.
Okay, jungler's
but,
fighting the top river. Zed has the first move. Poppy trying to run away, pops the shield for the move speed, and has the protection of her bot lane. Griff going a little bit further, gets slowed, and is going to have to back away. Maybe they go for Dragon now that they've forced away jungler, but Poppy is still staying in the area. The Plague have a pink in that bush by red buff, but it will be spotted out by penultimately.
Yeah, that
Started the
pink ward is
dragon.
what allowed them to get that early rotation over, but Dragon down to half HP, Agateo and Demi showing no signs of the rotate, so I think this one's going to go over.
Yeah. Crispy deciding to stay by Dragon to keep up the pressure will lose a wave for it, but it does net his team a Dragon.
That's a little interesting. I feel like I know that the wave was not crashed in, but isn't the point of Shin there? You know, you can make that a 5v4. Agateo's fed and not at all. Izzy's half health. I feel like maybe they could have contested it.
You can
Maybe
look
I'm
for a
wrong, though.
5v4, but the reality is Vygar is going to deal no damage. So I think giving up this first dragon and looking to fight at a place where your
Ooh.
jungler's not at half HP, probably the way to go.
Penultimate did not
Very reasonable.
quite get the stun into the wall, so Zed just able to walk away from that and deals a bunch of damage back onto Poppy.
Cage
Does spot out
just
the rope,
barely
though.
going wide.
Man, I have a feeling about Agateo. He feels like he's kind of styling right now. I'm not going to lie.
He's
He's
averaging
putting on
10 CS a
pressure.
minute. How much gold has that first strike netted him so far? Let me see if I can click on him and find out. No, I can't see it from here. Oh
You
well.
might be able to hover it on the left side under his player portrait. Oh,
Yeah, it just gives a
Peacemaker
description.
connects.
Yep, that's the first strike Caitlyn powered.
he's gone.
Just wait until the architect
the
ability.
trap.
Yep. Dead.
I'm gonna
Did
call it a
not see the
solo
trap.
Rolo. I
Fine.
don't know how much Demi assisted with that. Oh my goodness. Caitlyn already coming online. Not even a first item picked up quite yet. And ultimately sneaking these Kevins.
I will say Demi did throw a one of the song spells over there and dealt some damage and took off the
Oh,
shield.
Briarald is going to land onto Poppy. Starts to deal massive damage, but gets stunned into the wall. Shen ult over the top to try and protect. Is going to land. The Shen W prevents so much damage, and Griff is going to go down. Zed in a 1v3. Going to try to escape. Deals so much damage. Oh, but he gets Tiger ulted very low and couldn't quite pick up two more. Blade escapes with a smidgen of HP. Oh, but the Jinx ult will it land?
The Super Mega Death Rocket!
He wants to do it!
So
It will
it's a
be a
2v2.
2v2 at the end of it all, but all the grubbies go over.
And now
Two
excited
swords
with the
and-
red buff,
okay,
Izzy's
as it
on the
forces blast
chase.
away. Yep, that red
gonna
buff
be able to
does
do
make the
anything,
slow significant. They'll chase him down, but not get anything except Caitlyn's flash and Seraphine's heal. Wow, okay. A
Heads
lot
up
of cross
comms
map
to throw
action right there.
the Death Rocket across the map. Crispy laying out so much damage. The cage does connect as he enters the fight. Ooh, a teleport in.
Oh, but Karma stepped
Does
away.
he win this?
Izzy and Seraphine flashing each other, but the Zap finishes off
Oh,
the kill
no.
onto Seraphine.
Agateo.
Viger has roamed down, will kill off Karma. Izzy is trying to kill off Agateo, doesn't have vision in the bush. Burns barrier, but here's Grift. Steps on a trap. Zap does not kill the Caitlyn. She's still alive somehow. Grift goes under the tower, takes a bunch of damage. Flash E from penultimately secures the kill. And Caitlyn is still alive.
Agateo somehow
lane,
eking his
brawling
way
with
out
one.
of that one, and Izzy as well. So low at the end of that play from both of the marksmen. And both the supports just locking themselves into Mortal Kombat as Blade with the teleport down, making that use of the Summoner Spellbook, switching now to Exhaust for be able to hopefully survive against Crispy with the next all-in.
I cannot believe Agateo survived that. That's insane.
Yeah, manages to stay alive and has currently a 35 CS lead to himself right now.
Crispy
Basically
on
an
the
extra
rotation up
BF
to the
sword if we're
top
looking
lane.
at items. Yep, Chopple's very low, doesn't have any summoners or ult to get out, manages to dash away, but okay, there it is. The flash out of the Zed should have enough damage to kill here, and yes, he will. So there we go. The roam up from Crispy successful. They will get this push in. Oh, the Peacemaker lands. Okay, where's that Briar Ult going? Lands onto Blade, gets that stun. There it is. As we mentioned, Champ's like, okay, Griff flashes for the follow. Gets exhausted. Is going to deal a decent amount of damage, but not enough. Okay, yep, penultimately here. Gets the dash under the tower, ult him up. And they will kill Griff in his attempt to gank mid lane. But yeah, the Vygar has built Protobelt, so he's deceptively tanky with that extra bit of HP.
Yeah, this is a utility Vygar build that's really focused on scaling, and you get a lot of that. It's scaling because you get that CDR for more and more last hits with your primordial. It's for that primordial evil stacking. Agateo has been ultimately on the side for this Tribe Rush.
Yep. Oh, Scorch looking to dive. Jinx is very low, chunked to 1 HP with the Caitlyn ultimate. Will be still secured by the Poppy. Karma going to try to root the Poppy in place, but is alone in a 1v3. Trying to escape, will be let out. Interesting.
I think just worried about overstaying.
Yeah.
They will let Karma out. I think I would have liked to see forcing that one in, but if Griff was on the way out to the bot side, he would have been nearly there by now. And so choosing just back away.
There it is. First tower secured by Scorch. Gold going onto this Caitlyn. She's going to be very rich. Almost 50 CS in the lead. But here's Griff moving up river.
2,000
Chaffles has flashback up. Then we're going to roam mid, try to help out the Vygar. But here is Griff. Okay, Taunt's going to, for distance, stun down. There's the flash, burned, and then Griff will press the E to stop the chase, accepting the flash.
So trading Dragon for flash on the play. Nice pickup for Scorch. And ultimately able to secure that objective for her team, and now Griff onto her red buff, but it looks like Scorch have an inkling that this is happening. Demi walking over, not going to spot out that pink buff quite yet.
Okay, Griff will secure the blue buff and get out of it, or get out of there with his life.
By the way, isn't it crazy that Miso has a shutdown right now when he has more deaths other than that same stat line with 23 less CS? I don't understand how that works.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think anyone understands the bounty system.
No, not anymore.
It used to be so simple. If you had on a killing spree of some kind, you had a bounty, and that was it.
Mid lane's
Dude, I was about
within
to
300 of each other, so that's really kind of
Oh, really?
what it boils down to.
Interesting.
Objective spawn on the top side. Teleport is available for Blade down here. Crispy has Ignite ultimate, so he's going to want to try to find a kill on the bottom side of the map. But mid tower sets Izzy into excited, but Scorch should be able to pick up the objective.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Zon realized this Herald is going down, but they'll take the mid lane tower in trade. Decent enough. As, yep, the lane assignments shift around as Caitlyn is just doing so much damage to this Nasus, despite him being okay, he has to force his own ultimate to stay alive. Karma's up here, but is a little out of position. Okay, Taunt gonna miss. Nasus gonna be able to stay alive, but he's still very low. Karma here to try and prevent any dives.
Currently rotating the Caitlyn around, trying to shove down these towers. It's been a while since we've seen this playstyle, but... Oh, Taunt lands.
Oh, Taunt lands onto the Nasus, and Agateo, with the perfect ability setup, secures the kill onto Nasus.
They're going to get warrior.
And ultimately, going to dive the Karma, dashes into the wall, stun, kill granted over to Caitlyn again. Crispy might look for something in bot lane. He's got Griff by his side. They could look for a play. Blade does have flash. Okay, lands one spell onto Crispy. Gonna try to flash. He tries to use ult. Shen ult onto Vygar to try to save him. Oh, nice! And Griff is stunned under tower. Trades 1-for-1. Excellent cage by Blade.
A little bit early on the flash, but does find the 1-for-1 trade. That's really what he was looking for on the play. Has teleport to get back out on the map, and Crispy's not going to be able to find anything more with Chaffles on the rotate back out. This game busted wide open all of a sudden after it was fairly standard for so long.
Yeah, I think Crispy dodged, or I say dodged, but like immuned the Vygar ult by ulting himself to become untargetable. So Vygar had not finished casting the ult. So could have potentially turned that into 1-for-2. But here we are with the Herald crashing into mid lane. They will secure that for themselves and potentially charge again into the inner tower. Oh, but this is a little bit dangerous. Could ultimately just barely dodge the trap. Gonna have to flash out to safety. but they'll get the charge down and secure some more gold. Chaffle's looking for a flank onto this Karma. Could be out of position. Taunt lands and flashes away from the Serpent. No, still hits. Gets pulled towards. No. Oh, okay. He doesn't have anything to get away. He's going to speed himself up with the shield. Gets out to safety. Stun lands. Vygar is going to secure that kill. Karma not able to survive.
Nice flank. We can see another flank attempt from Crispy here on the side. He's watching for somebody to step away. He wants Agateo. They've taken bot tower, top tower, now mid tower, and they're looking for more.
Oh, taunt onto Briar. The Briar, who only has a Blade of the Rune King, is not tanky at all. Gets one shot. That's another tower over to Scorch.
And now that the lanes have fallen apart, it is just a all-game push fest for this Caitlyn. The Hex Optics, Infinity Edge are complete, and Agateo is standing amongst 5.
Root gonna land onto Jinx. Force Burn Barrier. They're actually going to take this inhibitor tower. Okay, Seraphine very low. Taunt gonna land onto Zed. Has to ult over onto Caitlyn. Flashes away to safety. Caitlyn gonna live. Doesn't take any damage.
Nasus is rotating from behind.
Yep, Nasus gonna look for a flank. Forces the flash out of Seraphine. Is just gonna keep ghosting. Briar ult. Where's that gonna land? Oh, Briar ult dodged out by Demi. Nasus is gonna be kept in the cage and not able to catch it. When Ghost is still running, steps on a trap. Caitlyn presses E to gain further distance and slow. And it looks like Scorch will all make it out. All the gap close.
That was a great attempt by TJ. He just walked into the trap, but he had Ghost up there with Wither on Caitlyn. Like, if he had not stepped in that trap, I think they kill Caitlyn there. And finally, that's a shutdown in some time.
They should be able to secure Dragon here because all of Scorch are having to reset and go to base.
Yeah,
Izzy is very low, but yep. They're going to look for a Bush Cheese. I don't think it'll work, though, because, as I said, Scorch have all recalled, and it'll take them a long time to get back. So it wasn't fruitless. They give up their inhibitor tower, but they do secure a dragon for themselves. Not a trade I'd personally take, but they managed to get something back.
You know, one nice thing though is that the minions won't die to turret now, so they can
on the TJ on the bot side. But Riff is nearby, does not have certain death available for the collapse.
No Ghost on Nasus, has ults. He's going to get taunted, locked in the cage. Decent Vygar damage. He's going to get a very low, but the sustain is going to come out, and there it is. Vygar will secure it with a Q.
Vygar fully on.
TJ no Ghost. Yep, he's got 2 completed items. What do you think he goes next here? Death Cap?
Matt, why don't you give us a rundown on the gold differences and where these builds are going as we have a bit of downtime?
Man, that is what I've been staring at this whole time. Yeah, Chaffle's going in real quick. See if he can do anything. Nothing gonna happen there. Well, we have a pretty big gold difference overall. 6K. Shrima Scorch over Zon Plague. Biggest part of that gold difference on the Caitlyn. Up 3K gold. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if I need to say anything else, because if I am any player in the game and I look and see a Caitlyn with 10K gold at 20 minutes, I kind of just sit there and cry. Like, how do you play against that?
It's 2.5 items, but it's still the same item tier overall for Izzy. So it's not the end of the world yet. When you start to get a full item tier above, that's when that damage breakpoints really make an enormous difference. But it's not fully out of reach. There is still a hyper carry in the Jinx and the late scaling Nasus. We can check in on those stacks. 526, 21 minutes into the game. So goodness gracious, that buff is making a difference.
Yeah, the Scorcher making a vision play towards Baron. Not going to start it up yet, though, with everyone alive on Plague.
There is that point, too, of, like, one good ult from Izzy, pick up a couple shutdowns, get excited. I mean, that Jinx will get really strong with just a couple kills, a couple shutdowns here.
Yep. The Plague aren't out of this yet. They do have Jinx. If the Scorch aren't careful, then Zed can absolutely just take Caitlyn out until she gets GA. She is susceptible to being 100 to 0'd.
Yep, but that Stand United, that Encore, the Poppy ultimate, I always want to call it Noxian Diplomacy, but that's just entirely wrong. It's like Tamashi and Diplomacy or something. I forget what it's called.
Keeper's Verdict. Poppy ult.
That's the one.
And I'm not sure if they'll be able to. I'm not sure if they'll be able to execute it, but if Zed ever R's Caitlyn and Veigar just puts his cage behind, Griff's gonna get out of that. Then Zed just instantly dies. So it's kind of kind of unfortunate pick for him there.
Yep, gonna have to be looking to separate them out, so as long as the Scorch stay together, they should be able to protect pretty reliably.
Another
Proto
flash burn.
forward, hunting for that cage.
Gets Jinx's flash. That's very important for these upcoming team fights. Jinx needs to stay safe long enough to be able to do enough damage for resets and then turn the team fight in their favor.
And I like the lane assignment, sending Choffles to the top side with the Stand United. Not going to find Crispy resetting in the bush, but can always regroup the team using the Stand United or the teleport. Not to mention the
both teams...
full Thorn Mail to keep them alive.
Yep, and there it is. Yeah, the armor items are going to start coming in real strong, and Jinx is going to have an even harder time killing the enemy tanks. There it is. Baron started up by the Scorch, already down to half HP. Plague are inching forward. They have some vision in the bush, but Choffle's going to zone them away. Griff is in range, able to steal it, but he's not going to see it. Okay, now he does. He's going to flash over. No, it's secured by Caitlyn. Baron goes over to Scorch. They're going to try to get out as quick as they can, and they'll even secure a kill onto Briar. Now they might be looking for the chase. Is the Plague forced to run away? Not their jungler. And yeah, it'll be Baron or Scorch. They're going to keep moving forward. Flash from Blade.
Oh,
gets stun onto 2. And there's Nasus and Jinx instantly deleted from the fight. Both flashless champions. And they will instantly die. And Scorch are going to look for the end here, potentially.
Nice pickup from Blade.
If they got Baron buff, Zed is only just now recalled. They're in a 2 versus 5 for another 7 seconds. Taunt landing onto Zed. Surfing all to the top. Going to be dodged, but he dodges into a stun. Zed is down. Shen is probably going to die to turret. Okay, Briar and Karma in a 2v4. They've got 1 turret alive. Briar's going to look for the Caitlyn. Gets the stun. Barrier forced. Caitlyn's going to live just a little bit longer. She's going to stay alive and do more damage. Griff is going to fall. Oh, shield by Karma keeps him alive.
Blade's got
1
no
turret
mana
still
as
alive.
he's coming back up.
Okay, and TJ's going to spawn in 3 seconds as well. He's got Ghost. Briar all in onto the Poppy, but Poppy's going to stun. Auto attack, spike Demi onto the Nexus. He'll finish it, and the win goes to Scorch. There you go. So Scorch secured their first win of the season, and Zon Plague unfortunately got to move down to 0-4.